Hello, hello. Welcome to Top Shelf Reviews. A few weeks ago I posted a review of the McCarthy's 6-year-old single malt whiskey, and in it I said it held up to most of the Islay scotches it was trying to emulate, but I wish that it had a little bit of that salinity that you often get in those. McCarthy's commented on that post and said, we're going to look into this, and then somebody commented on their comment saying, you'd better not change anything, which got me thinking. Do I really like that kind of salty, briny taste along with a smoke in an Islay style whiskey? Or is it just something I'm so used to that I think I really like it? So to find out, I grabbed all the different smoky scotches and single malts I have and figured we'd do a blind comparison. So on the table, let's talk about what we've got here. No particular order here. We have Craigile, 33-year-old. This is from an undisclosed distillery, and it's finished in cognac cask. We have Talisker Storm. This guy is a 45.8% ABV. By the way, this guy is 44.1. Next up, we have that McCarthy 6-year. This one is 100 proof, so 50% ABV. Next up, we have Laphroaig quarter cask. This one is 48% ABV. We have the 5-year-old Wee Beastie from Ardbeg. This guy comes in at 47.4%. The old classic Lagavulin 16. This guy, 43% ABV. We have the McCarthy's single barrel cask strength. This is the Westmoreland liquor pick, and it comes in at 55.8% ABV. And finally, the Highland Park cask strength. This is batch 1, coming in at 63.3% alcohol by volume. So I'm going to go through and taste these. I've got little pours behind me that have all been randomized. And then we will come up with an order of my favorite and least favorite, so we know for sure, do I actually like the salt bite that's in there, or is it just something I'm so used to that I think I want it to be there? Let's get into it. So after kind of quickly going through those, what really surprised me was how, excuse me, how proofy some of them were, but how much fruit I got off of a lot of them. The smoke seemed to take kind of a back seat on the majority of them, and honestly, I didn't get much of that salty, saline note that I was kind of talking about. But let's get into it and see what my order was. So we will start down here at the end, which is my least favorite. Number 4, doesn't really surprise me. Ardbeg Wee Beastie. 5 years, pretty young, kind of harsh to me. It's the only Ardbeg I've ever purchased a bottle of. I know the classic 10, the Corey Veckens, the Anoas are all apparently fantastic, and eventually I'll probably get into some of those as well. Next up we have number 1 would be Highland Park cask strength. I believe this is, I want to say 10 or 12 years old, and just a fair bit of heat. Maybe I'm just not in a high proof mood. At 63.3% alcohol, still a tasty pour, but definitely hot. Next up, number 7. Getting these out of order here. So number 7 surprised me. That would be Talisker Storm. Talisker 10-year is one of the whiskeys that really got me into whiskey. I love the briny notes. I love the smoke. It's like a bonfire on the beach. It's a classic. It's still a great pour. But 3rd from the bottom in my list here. Number 3, Lagavulin 16. This one has been open for quite some time. There's maybe another 2 ounces left in this bottle. And it just didn't seem to pack the flavor I'm kind of used to. It is only 43% ABV. Maybe that has something to do with it. There's a lot of higher proofs on the table here. Kind of surprised me that it's that low. But Lagavulin, 16. Next up, Laphroaig Quarter Cask. This one also a little bit lower ABV at 48% compared to some of the cask strengths we have on the table. A lot of fruit notes on this one. It really kind of moved around a bit on the table, going down and back up as I tried them kind of next to each other. So Laphroaig Quarter Cask hitting the middle mark there. Third place. No sticker. Okay. Interesting. Must have fallen off. We'll have to come back and see which one that is. Second place, number 6 on the table, which would be McCarthy 6 here. Lots of fruit on this one. Fantastic flavor. Happy it kind of came in this high. I thought they were going to be kind of further down, just based on the notes I was getting. So that means my number 3 was 33-year-old Craig Isle finished in cognac cask. When I got this bottle, it was a goal of mine when I got into whiskey to buy a bottle that was older than I was. So I was 33 years old at the time, and this was at a fairly good price, around $300 at the total line. Really nice flavors. I was really prepared to be disappointed by it, just due to a lot of times I've been told the reason Scotch gets as old as it does is because up until that point, it's not worth pouring. So I was really ready to be disappointed, but this has been one of my favorite bottles I've owned, and I dare say at $300, it's a value. But it was third place, which means my number 2 was a 6-year-old, and my number 1 was McCarthy's Westmoreland Barrel Pick, Barrel Proof 55.8% ABV. So my number 1 and 2 were McCarthy's. I guess that goes to show you the brine does not need to be there. I think it does until I try things blind and don't really pick up the brine on anything. But I was really impressed by how much fruit was on both of these. They didn't seem that far apart in proof points, so I'm kind of surprised I didn't, I put them that close together. They seem to be really comparable pours. I was kind of thinking one of the tops was the Lagavulin 16 just because of how easy it was to drink. So it just goes to show you, until you try things blind, who knows what you like? Not even yourself. Cheers.